That's FF9. Whoever's doing Type-0, start playing the game.
A little bit slower if you don't have haste, because then you have to charge with Steiner on his turns. And if you get protect without haste, an additional jump with Freya and wait out 3 blue shockwaves. No, very nice run.
Thanks.
GG, man.
That was what I would consider redemption from ESA.
It's just a shame I lost 13 minutes, because that's actually what I lost. 13 minutes. It's fine, eh? We're nearly there.
We'll take it off your time. We'll take it off your time.
Wow! Space encounter! No!
Oh man. Encounters in space.
Oh, yeah. Right now, in Type-0, this is the first mission. He's getting through a couple battles. Pretty simple, just using some blizzard and stuff. Right here.
Yeah, the first couple of missions of Type-0 are really nothing to write home about. I mean, by all means, please continue with the FF9 commentary. I know the end game is super complex there.
Yeah.
It's like we're heading to the Crystal World. And so he's heading to the final stretch.
Finally! And an encounter.
You do summon Sunder Showers.
Alright, 2 more screens for Cloudy.
One more encounter. Hopefully that'll be it. You can get another one, I think, on the next screen, if you're really unlucky. At least there are quick escapes. Right. Freya. There we go. I have 3 elixirs left. Let's hope it's enough.
That is plenty.
So, one thing to mention here is you'll probably see Koinu go for a little more risky strat here. I actually missed a 92% chance Zansetsuken last relay, so I'm just going to charge that to 100% to make sure that boss dies.
Yeah, this is the first boss fight in the run. It's pretty simple. You charge King with Odin, more magic spam, and try not to die, of course.
Also,
Right.
hey guys, Koinu93 here. I was having some brief technical difficulties, so I missed the very start of the run, but I'm here.
Welcome back.
So, anyways, Cloudy's going to be using a different strat for Death Guys because he does not have Quina with Knight. So basically, survives the meteor. He's going to be using elixirs on Steiner and just having Steiner attack while Zidane's kind of character here. Also, I think he might revive Amaranth to try and throw wing edges. I think that's the no Knight strat for Death Guys.
Let's see what happens. Do it.
That's a
It's okay.
pretty good meteor roll.
In the beginning here, Sen's going to be doing a lot of stuff, but luckily we will have a chance to kind of go through it again once I'm doing it.
Yeah, once Cloudy brings it home, we'll elaborate a little bit more on what's going on with Type-0. Right now, he's just progressing. Sense is progressing to the next mission, doing all the flags that are needed.
Ooh, nice RNG from Death Guys. No spins. I don't think I've seen a spin today.
Oh, I didn't get it. Mine was top tier. I think we got off 2 Demon's Claws and the whole thing.
He did 3.
Right.
Yeah, Sentier is just quickly reorganizing his party list because while there are many characters to choose from, not all of them are going to be particularly useful. So this will get us the ones we need when we need them.
Yeah, I also just went ahead and gave Seiss an upgrade that increases her movement speed because
Should
she's
be
the
enough,
fastest character in town.
Yeah, most of what Sent just did is great movement speed for a bunch of the characters that he'll be using. So,
And nice fight for Cloudy.
It was alright. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna save before Transcute.
Yeah, 2 fights left, and that's it. And you're done.
Alright, so what he's going to do is he's going to equip Steiner with the Reflect Ring so that Steiner doesn't get killed by any of Kuja's spells. Also, Steiner being at full health means that he can't die to Flare Star either.
I brought slightly the wrong team to this mission, but it really doesn't matter.
I see that.
interesting.
Unfortunately, Catter does run out of MP much faster than our intended person.
Normally, we're supposed to be using Rem right here, but because I believe she has a lot more magic than everybody else.
Yes.
I guess it matters if that guy wants to be a ninja master.
Oh man,
As many soldiers do, unfortunately. They're all very well trained, except when they're
all
not.
out of the way, man.
Wow, yeah, he is a dodging pro. So this will be a theme, unfortunately.
Yeah, if they want to jump out of the way, they'll do it. Kind of.
Yeah. Normally we'd spam magic here, but I brought an extra character and don't have the exact one I need equipped. But it's no big deal, like I said.
Jack is also fairly strong physically, from a physical DPS standpoint.
You have to be careful of that bomb, though.
Because normally here, again, we'd be using magic. Slightly.
It's fine, we made it work.
Yeah.
I'm Lex Steiner just in case. Plus her MP anyway.
With that, that's the end of mission 2 for Type-0.
Alright. I think you should be dead on this round.
Schizophrenic, we have two characters who are not named after cards, Rem and Machina, and we'll talk a little more about them once 9 brings it home.
9.
Oh, it looks like Claudia's got Transcourage in the bag.
Nice. Right.
Ooh.
So the difference between what Claudia's got set up wise and what I had for mine, Claudia's got the reflect ring, so he can have auto reflect on Freya, which means that she can't die from any of the spells before blue shockwave hits. Whereas with my Freya, because she doesn't have the reflect ring, but she does have auto life, it's just a little bit different. So if one spell goes off, she'd have to auto life and then ATB fill to be able to get her action in when she needs to. So I don't actually think there is anything at all that can take down Cloudy now.
Should be fine. Freya may well trance though, but we'll see.
So I only learned it a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a couple of weeks ago that if you queue jump before you actually get into trance, it just does a normal jump. It doesn't do the spear, and you can just do the normal strat.
I'll trust your word on that.
Yeah, but that's the way it works. So if you queue jump before it actually goes into any of the trance animation or that kind of stuff, just as a normal jump, Izzo told me, because that happened to me.
Okay. Take off auto life. I think that's right. Should be. I did it backwards to what I normally do it like.
And here we go.
Just do it, so that it'll be fine.
The other nice thing
It's
about
actually
getting
what I
reflected
don't
is
like
there's
about
no.
the,
I knew it was gonna
reflect
weapon,
stats.
so I just pressed jump.
And I think he got the jump off.
Yeah, I did.
Guaranteed to get the charge kill.
I'm knocking it straight on the door.
Yeah, I'll explain after 9's over. We're doing some crazy backup strats right now.
Oh, I had to close the feed, so I'm just getting a play-by-play from Fell and all of his pog champs.
He used Jack on the door,
Ah.
on the gate door, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
At least I won't need to charge.
All right, so get ready for time.
Right.
That's time. Be done.
GG.
Yeah.
Well,
It wasn't for that death, it would have been a 9:30, but that's alright.
GG's to our Final Fantasy IX runners for sure.
Thank you.
So, like Koinu mentioned earlier, I'm Sent. She's Koinu, and we have Barbados with us in commentary. So this stage is a little awkward for me because I didn't bring Rim to stage 1. She didn't have enough experience to actually learn the abilities she needed in this stage.
Oh,
Okay.
that'll do it.
So we're improving.
See. But yeah, and this mission is mission 3 because we don't count the skirmish. We're infiltrating a base.
All right, so that looks like a terrible idea that's going to take me out of the game. But for whatever reason, returning to title on that screen and that screen alone, instead just takes you to the boss fight instead of waiting for like a minute of dialogue.
Doesn't work anywhere else in the run, and we don't know why it works at all to begin with.
Yep. But it works.
And here, it's more magic spam.
Yeah.
Again,
This fight's
magic
a little harder than it should be because my Rim does not have slipstream or triple slip, so she's very slow and can only dodge once.
Here, I'm
But,
waiting for the mythical dragon to move on as I do the tutorial area. Sent, did you get the infamous tutorial skip this time?
I did. One of the most important things to do when you start the game is not to play the tutorial because it wastes like 2 full minutes and it's awful.
Right. It sounds like there's an awful lot that's going to be going on with Type-0 here. So I think as the 9 team will probably going to dip out.
Yeah.
But
Just would like to
thanks very much
say
for
thank you.
have a lovely
Just want
run.
to say
Enjoy
thank you
yourselves.
Good
thank you
luck
for
with
having
Type-0.
me.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
All the
For
best.
allowing me to commentary.
Thank you guys so
And
much.
enjoy the rest of the marathon. Bye.
Not a great bridge, but it could have been better. That's all. The target swapping in this game is all mapped to the right stick, which is also your camera. So sometimes swapping quickly between targets can not go so well.
And, if you're new to the game, you'll notice these yellow rings and red rings. Those
Oh
are
God,
break
why?
sites.
Oops, that would be why.
Break sites will do pretty significant damage, and kill sites tend to pop up in the last bit of HP for the enemies, and
Oh, getting delayed.
like they're called, the kill strikes normally kill when you hit them, when you time them correctly.
Break sites, I believe, are a set percentage of the enemy's health as bonus damage, and a kill site is just if a break site would do enough damage to kill the enemy. It instead is a kill site, and it kills them.
Sometimes enemies will get a kill site at very high HP levels because it's meant to be like they're doing an attack that makes them vulnerable, but the window is not usually very large.
So like I mentioned earlier, one of the things we're going to do at the very start of the run, you'll see Koinu do it too with her menus, is we're going to upgrade Sice with Accelerate. Because every character in this game has 3 different movement speeds. They have 2 movement speeds in combat, one for with their weapon drawn and one for with their weapon sheathed, which is why you see us using Jack a lot of the times we will have him put his weapon away periodically, and that's just because Jack is the slowest character in the game with his weapon out, and decently fast with his weapon sheathed. But the 3rd speed everyone has is just a speed when they're not in a battle zone for some reason. And yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of quirky things with how the game operates with the targeting and the kill sites and everything and timing.
So there I just ran into town on a quick side tour and bought 6 armlets and equipped them to Keter, Rem, and Queen specifically. That's really not going to come into play for about another hour and a half, but it's just setting up for the end game now while it's accessible.
Ooh, missed the break site. Ah, well. Alright, Sen, I need to know what's up, because I've had a couple people say this when I was commentating you with the Lightning Returns. Why are you known as Sent the Prizes Guy?
Well, I'm sure people know me as Sent the Prizes Guy because I happen to work for Games Done Quick, and my job with them is prize coordinator. I get to pop up on stream every now and then and show off all kinds of cool prizes.
I was in a Discord that has nothing to do with this event, and it was just like, whoa, you're commentating with the prizes guy. I was like, what does that even mean?
But when I'm not doing prizes, I enjoy RPGs, especially action RPGs, and Type-0 is a great action RPG, I say, as I'm stuck on nothing. So I've just summoned Shiva for the first time, and if you like Shiva, great. You're going to be seeing a whole lot of her this run. If you don't like Shiva, Type-0 might not be the game for you.
Too bad.
You can see immediately why we rely on Shiva so much. She is fast. She is incredibly fast. By the way, she has a speed upgrade that you can get. Personally, I'm not going to upgrade to it. I don't know if Koinu, you still use the speed upgrade for Shiva?
I go up to power 2 with her, so I'm not sure if that includes it in it.
I don't remember offhand. I will say Shiva is so fast that she is often incredibly difficult to control, especially because the Type-0 remake for PC, keep in mind this game has 2 remakes because it's actually a PSP game ported to the PS4 and then ported to PC, lets you speed up the gameplay by 1, 2, or 3 times. And we're going to be playing at 3 times speed for most of the run, but usually with Shiva, sometimes we're going to have to scale that down to 1 or 2 times speed just to make sure we can actually hit enemies without flying 500 feet away from them.
Alright, so I'm entering the opening academia tutorial. It tells you all about the different classrooms, about, some exposition and story. We're just kind of skipping all that nonsense, but...
Yes, Class 0.
This here, Dr. Elricia, that's our mother. We are all her adopted children, with the exception of Rem and Machina. They're 2 characters who kind of come in as side, and that's why they are not named after decks of cards.
Yeah, the official story is they're basically sent in to spy on us because one of the heads of the academy is very distrusting of Dr. Elricia. He's not exactly sure what she's up to, especially because she seems to have this cabal of adopted children who all creepily call her mother, that just follow her around at all times. Something worth pointing out that I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing or if it's just kind of foreshadowing for a bit later in the story, but even when you have the game set to Japanese voices, the characters all call her mother in English. Maybe one of our Japanese runners in chat might be able to answer that, but it's something that's always felt very weird to me.
What am I doing? Oh my god, sorry. I just botched that menu so bad.
Oh, it's alright, it happens. I'm just kind of chilling here. We gotta wait for the water level to go down in the sewer. We planted some bombs in the sewer so that we can take over this town by knocking out the power grid. This is a game primarily about war. To give you a brief summary of it, long ago the four nations lived in harmony. And then everything changed when the Fire Nation was attacked. We're the Fire Nation, by the way.
Vermilion bird, as they call it in the game.
Yes, we are the Suzaku Nation, or the Vermilion Bird.
Or, as I like to call them, the Red Birds, because this is also just a great game of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That it is. And it looks like my team's going to cross the moat first.
Red Birds, the Black Turtles, the White Tigers, and the Blue Dragons. Right at the very start of the game, we don't even really see it, the Black Turtles are wiped off the map. So they are no longer qualified to be Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, the game effectively opens with the White Tiger Nation dropping a nuke on the Black Turtle Nation, and everyone kind of freaking out because this is war.
They are after the crystals, specifically.
Hey, alright, so I got Primed Rem, which is good for this first mission here. Priming is a status that can affect characters kind of at random. We can't really figure out what causes it, but it increases their overall strength. I believe it gives them more MP, or they spend less MP, either one of those. It's just, for Rem, it's nice to have in a few of these opening levels.
We use a lot of Rem early on, and when she can get primed, it's very nice because of the increase.
Don't want to interrupt too much, but I'm actually coming up on the first split for whoever is keeping track of that. So first split for Team Chocobo coming up right here in a second. This is Major Odillion. Funny story about this guy. So we didn't actually pick our splits the first time we did the relay. We just said to management, hey, whatever you guys want, it's cool. And they picked this guy. None of the runners of the game knew who he was, and we had no idea when the split was occurring.
Yeah, all three of us were like, who? And our commentator, Lena, was just like, shame on all of you, because she knew. But we sure did not.
And nobody knows what that guy's name is. He doesn't matter. He goes down like a chump.
And of course, yeah, again, she was very powerful and very quickly. And we're only really using one move with Shiba as well. None of her other moves.
Yeah, there are sort of two moves we make use with Shiva. So actually, most characters in the game can do different kinds of attacks by pressing forward, backwards, or even left and right while they're swinging. For Shiva, we often use her neutral attack, which just covers a good area and is very fast, as well as her left attack, which hits 6 times, and that's big damage.
So here in Academia, Ascent did the same thing. I'm about to go and I'm going to take a lecture from our class's Moogle, which is going to give us a free 2,000 experience. This is the only lecture that we're going to take throughout the game. We used to have a route which took, I think it was 3 or 4 of them, but not anymore. We are actually trying to keep our levels fairly low because the last level of the game scales off of your lowest character's level.
For that reason, we'll have one character that we only use in one mission.
Yes, Deuce. Poor Deuce. If you like her and her flute skills, you will not be seeing much of her.
And as soon as we do use her, we kill her off very shortly.
Yeah, unfortunately for all you Kanahanazawa fans out there, Deuce gets 0 screen time. So real quick, just doing a shopping trip here, getting a new weapon for our friend Jack, as well as a teleport stone, which is going to let us escape from a random encounter. There's only one random encounter in the entire game that we have to take, and we're not going to take.
And with this mission, we're infiltrating the White Tigers.
We're infiltrating like a mech production facility of theirs, and we're supposed to sabotage their new ultimate weapon, number 277, Brionac.
Which will be a lovely boss fight coming up.
Lovely's a word. Scary is also a word.
It is a fight. It's also a fight where really there's not much advice you can give towards learning it. I first learned this game for 2 relays ago, Relay 3, the first showcase of Type-0 in a relay, and I just could not get the fight down. I kept dying, bad things happened, so I kept messaging Fel Visage and Sent. I was like, guys, I can't do it. What do I do? And they're like, you just do the fight. I was like, okay, and I did. I did the fight.
Yeah, and that's the same knowledge Koinu has passed to me in my learning.
Yes, I pass on the wisdom of if you want to learn Type-0 and you get to Brionac, you just do it. Just think of Shia LaBeouf, just to do it.
Speaking of just do it, right there I picked up a secret order which gave Catter haste. I don't recommend it, frankly. Catter with haste is a thing. She is faster than Shiva by like a margin of 1.5, and she's impossible to control. So as I go around in this stage, all I'm going to be doing is knocking out these scientists to steal their key cards, and using those key cards to power down the machine.
He'll want to, with these rooms, he'll want to not get caught, summons more enemies, and that's just not fast. So
yeah, thankfully. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he picked up another secret order, invisible, and that'll make it a heck of a lot easier to sneak around these scientists and kill the one that you need to get the key card so that you can power down the machine.
Yeah, thankfully the key card's always on the same scientist, and you could destroy the alarm before the scientists go for it, as long as you can use an AoE spell, like Blizzard, for example, to just hit it, and somehow that didn't hit the alarm. Sometimes using the consoles can be very tricky. The game doesn't like to actually let you activate things.
All right, there we go. I had to think about that deployment. This time I will be bringing Machina along for this mission, so you'll see the intended strat for the gate.
Yeah, here we're going to... we're infiltrating Togorith. I'm ready for it. Yes, you'll notice. You remember back when Sent was there. A spot with this big door. Normally, you would use Machina. He's got this really powerful drill attack with his swords. He's got these swords that are like, that's the easiest way to explain it. Really powerful, especially.
Yes, Schizophrenic, this story is incredibly sad and incredibly dark. So if you like happy stories, unfortunately this game is not for you.
Yeah, Type-0 is, I believe, one of the first Final Fantasy games to receive an R rating in the United States. I'm unsure of how it was rated elsewhere, but it does earn that rating primarily through its cutscenes. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to these guys with shields. They can block Eidolons. They're that good with their shields. They should really get a promotion.
Ninja Warrior, stop it! That guy just dodged me profusely. Oh my god, wow. They are dodging all of my blizzards. So many ninjas. Luckily, there will be a recharge up ahead that I can use before the last fight. Oh, I missed. That's awkward. Double miss. Double awkward. Jack is not my strong point. He used to be a little more prevalent in runs than he is now, but he's still very important, very strong character.
And here's Sense making his way. And you'll see a nice little sacrifice here.
Yeah, so at this point in the stage, the White Tiger's Primus Lucy, their absolute strongest warrior, shows up and decides that you are not allowed to continue. And he will automatically one-shot whoever is first in your party. There's pretty much no way to avoid that outside of putting a re-raise on somebody, which is something we just don't really have easy access to in the speedrun. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
I believe the only way to
sacrifice someone. Rim can learn a skill that grants her re-raise, but it's just not worth the...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth the time investment to get her that skill. Alright, I have Slipstream now, so I can use Rim's primary mode of transport, pretending she's a torpedo.
And fortunately, I just tried to get a fancy strat with Machina where we use Cyclone Drive to beat that last boss. I'm just not quite good at the timing at it yet, so I did not get the 1 cycle, but okay 2 cycle.
Personally, I really enjoy Rem's movement. I think it's kind of fun to just like torpedo across the room.
Kib, that was the end of Machina's usefulness, pretty much right there. That level is Machina's prime contribution to this run. Other than that, he's just continuously emo and occasionally leave the party.
And Shield Fodder.
Yes.
Because when we summon Shiva here, we actually sacrifice a party member. We always have to take that into account. Prepared for the missions. Because you have a certain amount of time that you were allotted when you summon. And fine, but abilities.
Alright, so I'm gonna make a safety save here before I fight Brionic. I have not died to this boss in a very long time in any kind of serious run. And now that I just said that, I'm double going to make a safety save. Unfortunately, I have a ton of saves here just for practice, so making a save costs me a lot of time. Probably not something I'm going to be doing too often in this run, but there are 1 or 2 bosses that are just scary enough that you really don't want to risk it.
Yeah, the further and further into this run we get, the more our luck is going to hinge on our AI party members just not really dying. There are some things you can do to try and keep them from having untimely demises, like especially if you're on Shiva, there's not much you can do, and if they bite the bullet, you're gonna have some bad luck. So I will probably be taking some more safety saves than Sent will.
What? You're supposed to hit your paw first.
Not always. Sometimes he does the Dragon Colossus attack.
No, he started doing the paw animation and then immediately like showed his break sight and didn't slam his paw down. But I mean, hey, that's Brionic. So yeah,
Nice.
The boss is honestly pretty easy as long as you know what you're doing and know what to watch out for. But all of his attacks will one-shot you. So you need to be very careful. Speaking of getting one-shot, this is Nimbus, the White Tiger's Primus Lassie. He is level 142, and there is nothing we can do to fight him. And I love his opening speech because he's just like, I can't actually use any of my power right now. Not that I'd really need to against you rats.
Yeah, to put it in perspective, 142 is higher than the level of the last boss. The last boss is only level 99.
So yeah, we're just gonna run into his laser beams, and as soon as we either survive 3 minutes against him or lose all of our party members, a ceasefire is declared, and we can stop fighting.
So I've reached our sewer level, the beginning of Roller Derby Shiva. And we will be going on through, trying to jam their communications as we place Magicite. Other than that, not too much exciting going on here.
More Shiba. And, I can do. There's items like Mega Elixirs or Phoenix Downs and stuff like that, but for the purpose of the speed run, you want to get through as fast as possible. So sacrificing for Shiba isn't, but casually, you'd probably want to try and live as possible.
I never actually knew that, Fel. Fun thing about me is I learned this speedrun for Relay 3. I've never actually finished a casual playthrough, so I learn something new every time I open the game. It's great.
Oh. What did Phil say? I don't have a chat open right now, unfortunately.
You can get a key from that lets you summon AI-controlled guest called Joker.
Yeah, like I know that Joker's a purse. Like I know he's a thing. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, Joker is a character, much like this Shield guy. This Shield guy is also a character now. Getting trolled a little bit by one of the Shield men. They have potential to just ruin your day for pretty much most of the run.
They will just eat time away with Shiva. You'll nail them instantly. Other times they will just...
Yeah, the idea is you want to kind of like drift behind them mid-attack, because that will that'll take them out immediately. But sometimes they just turn around instantly, and there's not a lot you can do about that, but keep trying.
Yeah, there are all kinds of side quests in this game, but we're trying to go fast. We do none of them. In between each mission, you'll see like, oh, so many hours before the next mission. You're supposed to run around, learn about the lore, talk to your classmates. Nah, gotta go fast. We don't have time for that.
Yeah, there are social links to develop. There are several like different side quest chains you can wind up on. Now we're good.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore and a lot of call it a Crystarium in this, where information that you don't get playing through the story, you find in there, like the backstories on the class 0 and interesting little tidbits.
Yeah, I would go as far as to say that a vast majority of the information in this game isn't actually told to you. It's just, put in the Crystarium at some point for either beating the main game or beating a sub-quest.
Oh god. Oh god. Getting mildly lost. All good.
Messed it up. So this screen coming up is particularly scary because there's a guy with a key who's going to try and run away. And if he gets off screen, I have to go back 2 screens and fight him as he's trying to leave. Alright, we got it. It's not too bad if you just, swing at him or your party members hit him once or twice, but it can be really scary if they just decide they're not feeling it today. So something to mention is that every single character in this game, and there are 14 playable characters, all have their own unique quirks and abilities and cool things about them. Here is Koinu's favorite strat that comes to us courtesy of a Japanese runner who plays this game, Edge, and this lieutenant is he's being okay. I'm not going to show off the strat because the lieutenant dodged so many times, I can't do it.
Oh no! My favorite strat.
The lieutenant in the box would just all up in your way.
The lieutenant actually dodged every single attack. I'm really impressed.
Okay, guys, I'll make sure we see it.
Yeah.
I believe.
And then he was
going. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, and then he one-shot Rem.
Oh no!
That lieutenant putting in the most work I've ever seen him put in. Congrats to him.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Split for Team Mog coming right up here.
So the idea there is Seven's armed with a whip blade, and basically she could pull that guy over the boxes, and you don't even have to walk over there. You don't have to worry about anything. She just rips him over. You hit him with a couple of blizzards, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But he was not having it today. So hopefully Koinu has a little better luck with him.
R.I.P. Major Eidolon, forever in our hearts.
Who?
Exactly. Though, to be fair, since joke is very fitting for this universe, good thing about this world that we should mention is, because of plot stuff and magic, when someone dies, you don't remember who they are. Everyone in the world forgets them.
It has to do with the crystal, the
Wrong place.
how the crystal imbues its power to you. One of the things it takes is the memory of your dead. First mission, or after the first mission, you're actually tasked with visiting the cemetery, and they have a cemetery that's just full of people that they don't know because they've forgotten them.
But the only reason that they know that they were important is because people carry around these items called knowing tags. And there is actually a side quest to run around and pick up knowing tags, which just means you're running around and finding remnants of dead people that people should remember, but unfortunately don't.
And
I
they
got
are
hit out of it.
everywhere.
But yeah, the game actually opens up with Ace's brother dying, and Ace forgetting about him.
So that was his brother. I know, I've seen that cutscene because I've done a little bit of the game, but I didn't know.
Sorry, it's Maki's brother, but he was Ace's like friend.
Okay.
Yeah, Ace and Maki's brother met over not Azunia, but Azuna. They met because of Chocobos, and trusted him, and tasked him with message.
Delivering something. I think it's a message, and the intro cutscene is basically him dying and Machina being very upset because he knows his brother is dead and he knows that Ace is to blame, but he doesn't remember him.
So this here, very hard minigame, even on 1x speed. No way you can finish it. You got to get to the lab without your fuel running out, and we've got 2 whole minutes to do it. There are canisters placed around. The timing's extremely tight, and we're there. There's no way you could screw that up, even on 1x speed. Yeah, okay, I got that deployment right.
He's just he's fighting a boss. The other Lassie, isn't it?
Yeah. The boss we're fighting is inside the Vajra mech, and she believes that we're responsible for the death of her commander, because we kind of are. And she's very upset about that, so she gets in a giant scorpion mech and starts firing missiles at us, which is a perfectly reasonable reaction, in all honesty. I mean, I do it too sometimes. Unfortunately, your AI-controlled characters aren't invincible, and they really like to die. My catter bit the dust there, but not a huge deal. As long as Jack doesn't die, we're going to need him a little bit in the second half of the stage, and he's just fine.
Catter's got a 99.9% chance to just die at any given time. This time I will remember to pick up the invisible SO. Not needed, but it is nice when you're learning this game. This invisible SO lasts pretty much exactly long enough to get you through all 3 labs if you're going fast enough. Though, important thing to note about the invisible SO is that if you are invisible, you cannot hit the alarm until you hit a person. So if you sit there and you're spamming Blizzard on the alarm, it's not going to hit because you're technically not in combat, and lose your MP, and that's not good.
So there, I just used a first aid kit to give Jack aura, so that he hits significantly harder. That's because that Snow Sasquatch is kind of a formidable enemy.
I believe when in the HD remake, some of the screens they showed were of the Yeti there. it was like Trey and 2 other people. That was some of the early stuff that they showed when they were talking about bringing out the HD remake.
I got the thing that happened to you earlier, Koidu, where one of the Agamen got stuck behind another frozen one.
Yup. And you just gotta sit there and look at it until one of them shatters.
Yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shatter that behemoth early, which is maybe a questionable strategy because Piet here is known for being a dodgy man. But there we go. We got him in a couple of hits or 2. Otherwise, you'd have to wait for that behemoth to shatter, which is sometimes faster, sometimes not. Just depends on how much AI Shiva actually wants to do things. Which, to be fair, is usually not at all. So Koinu kind of touched on it earlier, but managing your Eidolons is very important. Shiva's one of the Eidolons you can directly control, but if you ever stop controlling Shiva, you can't get control of her back. So...
Oh my goodness. Catter survived the Catter's gonna die screen. That's amazing. That screen that I just got through, there's like I said there's a 99% chance of Catter dying at all times. That particular screen, she just can't live. She just can't handle the choice of life. And she made it. Good for her.
That's genuinely impressive. Catter really does just bite the dust on that screen just about every time we do a playthrough of this game. All right, so the Vajra split's coming up here in just a second for Team Chocobo. Vajra is actually a pretty difficult boss, even with Shiva. You have to be very mindful of what attack she's doing and where she is on screen. Luckily, she did the jump attack, which means I don't have to do anything.
He was able to hit the break site, and normally with bosses, when you hit early break sites, it puts them in sort of a stun phase, and you just wail on them and they die.
So that was
summoned on
the
the screen.
Vajra
That would have
split.
been bad.
That was the Vajra split if it didn't get hit. I should have announced it better. Sorry about that. One thing to mention about Vajra specifically, though, in break sites is that if you do not hit a break site on Vajra, you cannot end the fight. You have to hit it at least once, or she will just climb the wall and heal herself, which wastes a lot of time. It's not something you want to see happen.
Actually, things I suddenly thought, unless it just doesn't let you. What happens if you summon on the screen with the forced death character?
It does not let you.
Ah, okay. Because I almost hit the buttons just out of habit, and yeah, that I wasn't sure if that would do anything. These shield guys need to stop being.
I believe it just straight up will not let you summon on that screen.
That makes sense.
So at this point in the game, we can't use chocobos because we're supposed to be being stealthy and sneaking through the enemy lines. So what we're gonna do instead is we're just going to use this Wait, 1 second.
Oops. Oh god, please.
Use this teleport stone to escape combat. Something really weird is that you can't use the teleport stone until like a few seconds into the fight, because I guess not everything's loaded. It's a good thing we had the teleport stone too, because that is by far one of the worst fights that you can get in terms of random encounters in this area.
Oh, it had one of those big guys that has that's like level 99, doesn't it? Didn't it?
They're not that high level when they spawn there, but yeah, they're very powerful, and you just really don't want to have to fight them.
I was so used to Catter being dead that I was sitting here like, who am I supposed to be right now? So I just summoned with Catter.
Oh, it's fine. It's not like we need levels on her anymore, really.
Yeah.
So now we have to go back to command and get chewed out because, we were just in enemy territory for a little while and stuff happened and lots of important people died and nobody can remember, why they died or who they were. So we're kind of the prime suspects, but it's fine. We're class 0 after all. That means we're the protagonists and everyone loves us. Probably. Did I do the thing? No, there's a sortie first, yeah. I thought I did the thing where I ran to the classroom when we meet on the docks, but yeah, there's a sortie here. We should talk about the sorties real quick. So in the original PSP version of this game, there are basically RTS segments where you control troops and you take over cities and then you infiltrate the cities with your characters and actually like beat up a boss and take control of the area. Those are really slow and really unfun, and all of the remakes just let you skip them with a text prompt.
Oh no. Oh god. Okay, we're good. I misread that attack. I thought he was going for a paw, but luckily I managed to get in the safe zone before the swipe.
Right now, Team Chocobo is ahead. Exact split difference, but
oh, miss. This is not going well. I mean, I'm not dead, which is good, but not going great. Oh, so many swipes. Stop it. Stop it, please. I'm scared. Though he's not going for the bad attack, which is good. All right, I managed to go without him doing his long charge-up attack.
yeah, Koinu's fight is going drastically different than how
close.
Sense went. He's doing much for Koinu.
So at this point in the story, the Blue Dragon Nation, after the death of their leader at presumably our hands, has now switched sides and declared war on us. So we are now in a two-sided offensive against both the Blue Dragons and the White Tigers. The Blue Dragons, to no one's surprise, have dragons.
Are you
so
kidding me?
we're gonna play some duck hunt with them right now.
Queen was primed, so she survived Nimbus's first attack. That was rude.
Oh, Queen.
But yeah, right now, just shooting some dragons with a gun.
Sun and Showers, each nation actually has its own specialty and ability. The Blue Dragon's ability is the power to control monsters. The Red Bird's is the ability to use magic, and the
Summon specifically.
And the White Tigers have Machina. I'm not sure what the Black Turtles had.
So the Black Turtle's specialty is they can use physical alteration spells.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Their leader is the prime example of that. So yeah, we kill a dragon that sneaks on board, and then it's just back to duck hunt for a little while.
At this point, I also believe that Class 0 was split into two groups.
Helpful spirit, but also it's just it's good for people to know. I almost forgot how that menu worked. That would have been really great. But we're good. I didn't. Everything's good. Oh, why you have to miss, Catter? Why you have to be bad? Oh god. Haste. Too fast. Too fast.
Point in the story, the mission that Sent just finished for, and that Koinu's on now. Right after the ceasefire, we're in the I can't remember what they're called right now. We're oh dear.
Yes, as Fel said, Frozen Clouds is the most dangerous level in the run.
Oh, please don't remind me. I was gonna skirt that topic until I finish. But
remember that one dragon can fall out of bounds. I know you've never seen it, but it can happen.
I might make a safety save just in case that happens. But yeah, so in this stage, we could basically afford 2 of our AI companions to die. The odds of only 2 of our AI companions dying are astronomically low. There are a lot of things in this stage that can just one-shot your party members, and it can get very scary if the wrong characters are dead at the wrong times. It's worth mentioning that AI-controlled characters deal 50% less damage and take 50% less damage, in order to keep them from just constantly dying while you're not babysitting them. But that really doesn't matter because we're so underleveled, everything's going to kill us in 1 or 2 hits anyway.
at this point in the game for the speed run, we are fairly underleveled for compared to everything else that we're fighting. So you die very easily. All the enemies have to do is sneeze on you.
Oh, too early. Yeah, we are extremely underleveled. Shiva levels up much faster than us, so Shiva's not underleveled, but cannot use her at all times, sadly.
This dragon's giving me some trouble. He's being very dodgy.
Alright, so after my menuing, we will get to the room with my favorite strat. I believe in me getting it. I am going to do a little bit more menuing than Sent did. He does not upgrade his Shiva. I'm not confident enough yet in my Shiva skills to not have the summon extension, which gives you a little bit more Shiva time in the later levels.
Yep, and there's Katter taking an early death. So,
As Val is saying, let's sense in. Some of the enemies are very resistant to ice, so we can't continue to use Shiva. Like this guy here, he takes absolutely no damage from Shiva. So just like it was in, we switched to Jack and ration or first aid kit. No, first aid.
I used a support serum because I just had one. Oh, Jack, please. Okay, that's bad.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so to answer the earlier question, I do not get the Shiva Accelerate. That's only if you go all the way up to Summon Extension 2, which I don't have to do anymore.
Okay, and I can't target the dragon now.
Alright, so here's the strat, guys. I know, Sen's probably got some intense strategy going on here, but...
Just, you know, dragon playing hooky.
Yeah, dragon is, oh, he took me for a ride. I kind of don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, so you'll see that commander was all the way over there using 7, and her one really fun use in the run. We latch onto him, which is probably very painful, and drag him across the gap, so we don't have to run around.
I'm going to make a safety save because that went about as bad as it could ever go.
Yeah, Frozen Clouds, I would be doing saves left and right.
Yeah, my dragon got saved by a Draco Knight who basically popped up and killed me when I was about to knock him down, and got an extra kill off as a result. I think I have enough summons to finish, as long as I do some safety backup strats. Unfortunately, it's going to make for a very boring mid-section of this level, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I would much rather this run finishes.
Use a fair amount of the class members.
Oh, I didn't get the... That's not good. Please die.
But there's one class member specifically that we don't use, and that would be Deuce.
I like how it's like, yeah, I never don't get this strat. Did not get the swap off of Katter. Please die. There we go. The enemy didn't die. I swapped Katter. Swapped too early. I'm just going to toss a potion on her.
Okay, this is going to be the silliest backup strat I think I've ever done, but we'll make it work. What is it? Oh, Rim doesn't have levels. Okay, I'm gonna load that save, actually. I'm gonna load that save, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and assign solo sync. Yeah, this should be fine.
If anyone's ever played Persona 3, the voice of the announcer here is Mitsuru. I believe my FFZ channel has Mitsuru pleased. Feel free to throw some of those in chat.
So unfortunately, my Rim doesn't have any levels. I was gonna give her Angel Feathers and have her just re-raise herself, so I could abuse more summons. Not an option, but that's fine. I'll just manually make sure I only have one character active, and I should have just enough summons to complete this if I take the absolute lamest way out of the middle of the stage.
Yes, the Frozen Clouds continuing its reign of terror on the FF relay. This portion here with the missiles shooting at us as we like try and bait them into the trucks, we used to do this as Catter, who is very squishy, and I still just like, it blows my mind how we made that work.
Cornu here is waiting for Vajeria. I don't know how to say her name. Fight to progress. Just blowing up trucks so that we can move forward to the next screen.
Okay, so this is gonna look very silly, but the only way we can ensure a successful victory here is I'm going to have to just sit here for about 3 minutes and not rescue any of the cadets the game is telling me to go save.
No. Okay, Jack didn't die. Catter died, but that's fine. Jack did not die, which is better. That part's just scary. There's no real way to bait the missiles into you. You just have to hope.
That screen, you're in a tiny room with no space, and the enemy is just wailing on you. Of course, we have the Sasquatch enemy here with Cornu, and
Oh god, can't see.
So, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Cornu, you get all the commentary because I'm skipping all 4 stations.
Alright!
Yeah, that is how badly this Frozen Clouds is gone. I just have to sit here and wait. I'm just gonna read chat for a minute or two, I guess.
That's something I didn't know that you could do until just now. Sent was kind enough to inform me. If you have a really bad run of it, you can just sit there and wait out the timer. Not fun, but you can do it.
Not fun, not good. Unfortunately, it does waste... It probably wastes about 2 minutes overall, compared to being able to clear the stations in their fastest configuration. But again, it is 100% better than having to restart this entire area, so...
I'm not going to shatter the behemoth early, just because I've had this one small man bully me much more than many other people in this game.
He is a bully, frankly. He is a massive bully. Do not underestimate his ability to bully.
bully.
Alright. After this station, I should be able to just return. I'm going to make another safety save because there is kind of one more... Wait.
Oh, you can summon there. Neat. Yeah, if you're on the stairs portion of that area, it's like not enough room for Shiva, so I used to run down the stairs, but Sent told me during our practice race, nah, you don't have to.
Oh my... Alright, well, hey Koino, you know how you wanted me to give you 10 minutes?
Oh no.
I just gave you about 20. I can't complete the stage. I have to restart.
Oh, it's Relay 3 all over again.
It is. I just realized I miscounted my summons. I needed one more character alive or a way to cast re-raise. So yeah, that's absolutely the worst thing that could have happened. My AI partners, I thought only 2 of them died. Apparently 3 of them died, which made the mission basically unwinnable. And I did not catch it in time.
Yes,
so...
exactly. As Kib says, Maelstrom would be proud.
Oh.
He will wake up happy.
Don't worry, everyone. We're going to have a much more even marathon because, that
Team
is...
close race always wins.
Well, you know what? The nerves are gone. You know, I was a little worried. It's been a while since I've done a marathon run. Nothing to be worried about now. Nowhere to go but up.
Nice Vajra fight. All right. Got the quick kill there.
Shoot some dragons again.
Yeah, I mean, it is really fun to play, you know, I wanted to call this whack-a-mole for some reason, duck hunt.
Yeah,
but
that sounds good.
it's not great for, you know, the speedrun side of me. So yeah, just to reemphasize what happened there and why this stage is so mean. Basically, right after this whack-a-mole portion of the stage, I wound up in a situation where 3 of my AI partners died, including my strongest and most capable partner. And that is 1 death too many to have enough summons to finish the stage in a reasonable manner. I theoretically could have done it just off the back of Rim, but because of my mistake earlier, she's a little lower level than she normally is, and can't learn the backup skill that would let her do it. Type-0 is a game that just compounds mistakes on you. If you mess up once, the game will make sure that mess up, you know, is bothering you. Are you kidding me?
My apologies, Sarah. I don't know if you caught that was a split for our team. I just killed Bashra.
Are you kidding me, game?
Oh no. The bullying is continuing.
The whack-a-mole dragon killed Jack.
What? I've
Oh,
never even had the
no.
whack-a-mole dragons kill anyone.
I've never seen that happen before. That has genuinely, like, never been a concern. But whack-a-mole dragon decided, you know what? Let's make it even worse.
I
Oh.
feel like I should save
there's
before.
one
Oh wait, no, you
character-
can leave the mission. Never mind. I always forget you can just leave the mission.
Yeah, if there's one character in this mission that you don't want to die, it's Jack, because we need him for the Sasquatch, which is again immune to Shiva.
Yeah, we really need Jack at least for the first couple of minutes of this mission. So I'm going to go ahead and do a suboptimal menu to not bring Jack at the start of this mission, so that can't happen again. Oh
Yeah,
my.
so pretty much with that, we basically caught up to each other. I am doing the deployment in a moment here to go to the Frozen Clouds. So team
All right.
close race.
Yeah, team close race. Good luck, Koinu. You know, we did a practice race right before the start of FF9. You know, we just did commentary on Lightning Returns. We figured, yeah, it'd be good to get our heads back in the Type-0 game. And it didn't go great, but I don't think either of us had this much trouble.
Yeah, like my run was really good until Frozen Clouds because Sent accidentally didn't skip the tutorial, so I was actually ahead of him for a while, and then the Frozen Clouds happened.
Yeah, I was lagging behind because I took that 2-minute tutorial at the start for a bit, and then the final stage kind of messed with me a bit. But other than that, it wasn't bad. This run's just special, not in a good way. Oh hey, I got the animation skip on Shiva.
Yes, Roosta, this is a repeat of Relay 3.
Yeah, when mistakes happen, they just sort of snowball, especially when a character dies that you don't need to die.
Different people, exact same mistakes.
That one especially, that was a way to give me nerves because I learned this run coming in. I was running against the 2 behemoths of this game, and suddenly Fel goes, well, you're ahead now. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean I'm ahead now?
Yeah, Type-0, you know, it's an easy game when you get it right, but you make one mistake, and that mistake turns into 4 or 5 mistakes, and suddenly the stage is unbeatable and your run is dead. It's a rough game sometimes. These things happen, we kind of accept it.
Oh, yes. I actually didn't PB for about a year in this game because, well, for one thing, it was broken for a while. Thank you, Windows 10, for making the game, so it literally didn't load. But then also, just
recently.
sometimes you just get a bad run, and you just got to go with it, roll with the punches, and shake it off.
Yeah, I think I wound up grinding this game, like, you know, once every other day or so for months without a PB, and then one day PB'd by just, like, 4 minutes or something, because the game
Relay
finally
3
wanted
really
to play along.
revitalized it. I think the world record going into Relay 3 was like a 2:04, and now 10 minutes have just been chopped off of that.
Yeah, largely in part due to a lot of rerouting by a bunch of runners and cutting down on the things we need. Huge shoutouts to Fel in chat, and huge shoutouts to Edge if he's in chat. I'm not sure if he is or not, but both are amazing runners of this game and have contributed so many strats for it.
All right, guys, here's Deuce's moment. She's ready, and she's gone.
Yeah, I'm the new kid on the block with Type-0.
Hey, always glad for new runners. If you ever have any questions about running this game, there are only a few of us, but we would all love to help. I'm in the process of writing some overly detailed notes. And when I say overly detailed, like I mean it. They're going to be way too much, but it'll be good. Anyone will be able to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's always definitely great to have. And the game's actually on sale on Steam right now, I think, as part of the autumn sale. I think it's down to $10 maybe or something. It's, it's pretty cheap if you guys are interested in checking it out. If you too want to get absolutely bodied by frozen clouds.
Yes. For the very low price of whatever it's on sale for, you too can have this much fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. And I'm going to just go ahead and make a safety save there because I really don't want to play Duck Hunt for a 4th time in this relay.
Yeah, I'm saving after every time I do a run pretty much, I save after Duck Hunt because this is an auto-scroller. You just don't want to repeat.
Yeah. Usually I don't save because, I'm going for at least a decent time, and there are some better places to save in this mission, but after what just happened, I would much rather play it safe. Like to take this time to apologize to Team Chocobo. I'm sorry, guys. We'll get him next time.
The relay is still young. FF12 is really the deciding point. The last run of the relay will be the moment.
Oh, FF12 is that's gonna be a crazy back and forth run. I feel that game is mean.
Especially that category. It's gonna be a doozy.
Oh right. Because I quit out of the mission instead of failing it, I actually lost the resources I used on it, so I don't have anything to buff Jack with here, which... now I do. Because you can't use a combat ration if the person you're trying to use it on isn't wounded. But luckily, the Sasquatch decided to play along. He gave me a little slap. We were able to use that.
Yes, Kios, that would be you. You would be in 2nd place, and I would still be in 3rd. Rogue just loves you, so,
I literally just said I was going to save and then almost forgot to save. Luckily. Did not forget. Everything's good.
And this time, had a much better fight with that dragon.
Oh yeah, this time everything's going, like, perfectly, but, there's the breaks.
That's Type-0. Sometimes it'll put itself in a position where you can't hit it and everything goes wrong and it goes exactly how it's supposed to.
It's okay, and the day is young. I can easily also screw up the frozen clouds. And then it'd be like nothing ever happened.
As you saw there, sometimes when you summon a character in, they just refuse to come and say hi. So the game was not letting Sync have any of it, and I really wanted her to summon Shiva. I'm probably just gonna save at every save point until the last one. Again, at this point, a good run is out the window, and I just don't want to have to repeat anything if anything else catastrophic happens. But we're past the biggest danger zone with this many characters alive.
This is not good. I accidentally brought Trey to the Snow Squatch instead of Jack. All right. I think I'm just gonna have to wait for Shiva to run out.
Yeah, I think you are just gonna have to wait for Shiva to run out. You could try to hit him with Trey. Trey is decently strong, even with no equipment, but
yeah, it's not doing much.
Yeah, it might be rough.
Unfortunately, I went for that suboptimal menu to keep Jack out of the opening, and I just didn't even. Oops. No. Oh, Trey, don't. I'm healing him. I don't want to risk losing more people than I need to right now. Unfortunately, I did get that summon extension on Shiva. I get her a little bit longer than Sent would have. Oh, well.
Yeah,
Alright, there she goes.
Again, this is one of the few enemies that is completely, well, because of its ice resistance. So that's why we use Jack, because he's...
Yeah, these cryonades are not just immune to ice, they're actually healed by ice damage. So Shiva will heal them every time she attacks. which is unfortunate.
Oh, actually, you don't want to summon here. That almost was an accident. That would have been bad. Oh, just keep moving.
So our objective in this area is basically we want to try and save these cadets that are being attacked by this dragon. We really can't do anything to the dragon. Shiva can, but whether Shiva wants to or not is an entirely separate story.
Oh, well, alright, Catter died.
Ooh.
I hate this dragon. This dragon's a problem. This is also the one who sometimes falls out of bounds if you're like really unlucky with where he moves. Alright, there we go, I got him down.
That's what happened.
Oh, he fell out of bounds! I hate my life, dude.
Oh, no.
Wow, he actually fell out of bounds for you?
Yeah! I'm telling you, it happens to me all the time. And Trey just died. Awesome. I might reload my save. I don't know. That's 2 deaths. All right, yep, Jack just died. Well, there we go. Told you, frozen clouds.
Ooh, yeah. Frozen clouds.
Take it.
Oh, okay. I should have used the first aid kit there, but...
Ooh.
So you notice the game's telling me to go to the southern station, and I didn't. That's just because that timer is how long you have to get there and save the cadet, after which, you know, the dragon eats them. If you get a situation where you don't need to go to the 2 that are connected, it's significantly better to just go ahead and... Oh, right. I still need to go to the western state. I should have waited there. Forgot how this strat worked. It's significantly better just to wait for the dragon to come to your area. I went to the wrong station. This is a terrible explanation of this strategy.
To answer that, Fel, Sent had never seen the out of bounds, so I don't know if it's happened to any of the other runners, because I don't have much communication with them.
Yeah, I've never seen that dragon fall out of bounds. I've seen him, like, fly away sometimes for a little while, but he always comes back after a second or 2.
Yeah, if you hit the break site while he's, like, over that one point, I did it again! I didn't bring Jack again.
Yeah, welcome to Frozen Clouds. It's a nightmare.
Go, Ace. I believe in you. If you don't believe in you, believe in me, who believes in you.
Believes in me, who believes in you?
Alright, so anyway, we didn't save that cadet, but that's fine. We don't care about the cadet. We're good. We're just gonna go back to HQ real quick. I'm gonna make another safety save because the Senzashi fight can go terribly, terribly wrong. It shouldn't, but it theoretically can.
Man.
So now we finally get to confront this dragon that's been kind of harassing us and making our lives horrible. Thankfully, it's a pretty easy fight. We just kind of knock him down, and then we can immediately kill him. And that's that. Oh.
Don't mind me, I'm just falling into depression about choking this lead.
It happens. I should have switched to Rim there for speed.
Oh,
I forgot she was still alive.
Oh, don't do it! Don't do it! Okay, whew, that was close. Snow Squatches and I don't get along. They tend to just kill me. Alright, round 2. Stupid dragon. Fight. Alright, he did not fall out of bounds. Jack is able to actually hit him, and that's how that was supposed to go. Also gonna take this save because, dear God, now we're both just scared.
Yeah.
Nope, I need Ace.
It happens.
But this time, at least it happened to both of us. Mine was less of a serious detriment because I did do that save after Duck Hunt, but still. Frozen Clouds.
Yeah, very, very scary area for sure. I have Rim still alive here, so she could just go ahead and Blizzard Bomb everything, which is great. Hits multiple things at a time.
Yeah, the magic has Oh, hang on, I have to see.
Oh,
Okay.
forgot there were 2 cutscenes there.
Magic has a couple different forms. There's sort of a shotgun version. There's a bomb version. There's an AoE around you. There's a missile version. Different little varieties of how you can cast each magic, but only ones you really see in the speedrun are the Blizzard Bomb and the Thunder Shotgun.
Yeah, you
Thunder
can actually
Shotgun is OP.
you can actually craft your own magic too. That's a mechanic in this game. You can make new combinations of types and elements that you know. So, like, we could make Thunder Bomb if we wanted, and you can also buff the damage, AoE, all like the statistics of the magic if you really want. It's not worth it, and it requires harvesting Phantoma from enemies, which is just something we don't do in the run, and except when we need to do it to, you know, advance the area.
I did not die.
Yeah, sometimes the game will stop you from moving forward until you Phantoma from the enemies.
Oh, please kill it. Thank you.
With the Siva usage, you've got to, you know, switch because Sheba can't harvest.
Yeah, Eidolons are not allowed to harvest Phantoma, so...
Here, I'm just hoping that Shiva hits the dragon. Looks like she did, so that's good. Jack, please no. Oh, Jack, please no. If that flan pops up under you, it can get dangerous. I hate these things. Nope.
Alright, and now we get to take on the big bad boss, the 5-star dragon we saw at the beginning of the stage. He's pretty tricky to deal with, honestly. You have a very limited window to fight him in, and oh no, I'm dead.
Oh no, you died again?
Yeah, I died again. It happens, you know, whatever.
Game over.
So, this isn't actually an unwinnable fight. You can win this fight, and you get a pretty strong weapon for winning this fight. But if all of your party members happen to die on this fight, Mother intervenes and decides to summon Bahamut Zero, and we basically have a huge kaiju fight on some frozen clouds in the sky. It's pretty great. Normally this fight was technically slightly slower if you got average luck, but we found a way to manipulate this boss into just kind of letting us drain all of its health immediately, and the manipulation is great. The manipulation is called hold down the flare button.
Ah, please no.
Let's see if I get it. It's complicated. I got it.
Please. Why? Oh, I'm frozen. I can't heal when I'm frozen. Great. Yay, frozen. Oh,
So
thank
for
God,
what-
he's just sitting there beating his chest.
For whatever reason, if you just enter this fight while holding down the flare button and don't target the boss, it'll ignore you long enough to charge up Giga Flare, and Giga Flare drains all of Shinryu Celestia's HP, and then we can flip her over and unleash Terra Flare to end the fight.
Unfortunately, I had no snow items to give me aura for the Snow Squatch, so it's going very slowly. I'm also just horrible with Jack. There we go.
This would be the main sort of.
I appreciate
Good
all
item,
of the
good
frame
item.
Jesus ever so much. They give me strength. I don't remember if I was supposed to do that. I don't know if I was supposed to do that.
What did you do, Manu?
I did another summon. I don't think I was supposed to, but oops.
As long as you have an extra character or two, it'll be fine.
I don't think I've had any untimely deaths. Maybe.
Thankfully, that ends the Frozen Clouds for me. It's about as bad as it could ever go, but hey, you know, it's a marathon, stuff happens, and now we have an even race. Makes it more exciting.
Yeah, so that was a wasted summon there, because this is the end of that segment there. But I'm just going to save, and everything will be okay. This is fine.
Alright. The good news is the stage after Frozen Clouds is really easy. And really fun,
And
honestly.
screw it up, but, you know, you shouldn't. Ow, don't you do this to me. Yeah, so Flyvern here, you have to take a break sight on the dragon before you can kill the rider. Why can't I target the rider? There we go. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, but that time it did. Alright, don't need to take that save. I do have a couple of characters. This is going okay. I do. I have lots of energy. Thank you, Sun and Showers. I'm feeling it.
So this stage can kind of just be boiled down as Shiva does work the stage. There are a lot of... the last stage was us fighting, like I said, a two-pronged war. That was the prong against the Blue Dragon Nation. We're now fighting the White Tiger Nation.
How did that happen? I'm running down the spiral staircase and 8 just got himself killed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there are Draco Boltons in that room, and they can eat people if you're particularly unlucky. It sounds like you were particularly unlucky.
Luckily, I have one spare character, but jeez.
Dang. Didn't switch off to Shiva fast enough.
Catter, please don't die. I don't have the heart for this. My heart, please.
That's what I'm saying. This is another Shiba do work level where progress to as fast as you can, killing everything with Shiba as fast as you can. Sacrificing as you need them.
Yeah, I'd say about 60 to 70% of the enemies in this stage get killed by Shiva. Shiva really shows off her worth in this level.
I did take a save there, even though it was kind of pointless, because the nice thing casually about cadet level is if you lose all of your party members on certain screens, kind of like how what happens with Bahamut's Prime, Mother intervenes and she's like, nah, you'll be fine. And if you have Shiva equipped, or any Eidolon equipped, she'll auto-summon that Eidolon, control it for a little bit, and then revive all your party members, which is great, except for in a speedrun when you're trying to die at the end of a level. So I took that save because on this screen, you can get that auto-Shiva. It would probably be much faster to just not. So that's the goal here, is to just not get the auto-Shiva, and everything will be okay.
So a cool discovery by Fel Visage was pretty recent, I guess a year ago, right? Around the time of the relay. Shiva dispels when she hits 0 time, but you can actually extend the time she's active by using her Diamond Dust ability and perfectly chaining it into itself. And Shiva won't dispel until you drop it. So theoretically, you could keep a Shiva going for as long as you wanted, as long as you had the ability to Diamond Dust, and I got turned around and went the wrong way. Oh, come on. Stop dodging.
Wow. Hardy Dragon Bolton took 3 hits.
Alright, and something I learned the hard way is you need to let Shiva despawn on this screen before advancing the plot, or else the game soft locks. I think I figured that out in like a race with Fel Visage at one point. It was a really bad time to discover it, as far as I remember. So here we need to send one character to defend the back lines and stop all of the enemies that are coming at us. It doesn't really matter who we send, because at the end of the day, we're going to send Shiva.
And we get to see this beautiful Bahamut sequence again.
Yes.
Screen.
Bahamut Prime is just so satisfying.
I really like a lot of the summons when it comes to their cutscenes, like Bahamut. Alexander is so. Oh.
Alexander is definitely a summon. You do actually get the ability to control Odin again if you're playing hard mode. He's available as a mission reward. You never get the ability to play Bahamut Prime again, though. He is pretty much strictly just for this scene, for obvious reasons. Might be a little broken to just have that guy flying around.
What, we can't just Terraflare everything? Come on.
No, apparently not. I got a little unlucky with my spawns, but I should still have plenty of time to clear this before Shiva expires. Plenty of time. So now we need to send someone to destroy the magic jammer that's preventing our army from using magic. Again, there are a lot of candidates we could send. We chose Shiva. And that's a destroyed magic jammer. So I'm going to try and talk to these surrendering guys in order to get some rations and first aid kits. A strength serum would be amazing, but it's a very rare drop from them, and none of them gave it to me.
All right, and now I reach my big bridge. Speaking of, the idea of a big bridge, why does that sound so familiar?
It's probably because there's the potential to have a battle on it.
What? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I hear people often have battles on big bridges, but not us.
Money. Ooh, no, what happened? Wait a minute, what? Why is Rem not... What happened? Huh. Rem isn't in my options to take with me onto the... Huh. Well, guess I'm not taking Rem. I don't remember why we take her. Yeah,
we don't really need her anymore. I think it's a holdover from back when Angel Feathers was still part of the run.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, where did she go? Why is she not an option? What happened?
All good questions. All questions I have no answers to. So this part is kind of a bit of an auto-scroller. Class 3 is setting up, like, some kind of special artillery weapon to help us destroy this this base that we're stuck in. And it'll be available in 2 minutes for us. But we don't actually need their help, and we're just going to destroy it in about a minute and a half without them.
Now, Simpy, if I hadn't chosen Rem on the last mission, I wouldn't have had enough summons, especially with the screw-ups. She was there, I don't know what happened to her. I did mess up my deployment because I was queen at the start of that screen when normally you want to be siege just because of movement. Oops. Nah, well.
So yeah, when Shiva runs out here, we just summon another Shiva. Oh hey, regen SL. Excellent. That'll keep Catter and Jack from dying. Always welcome to see. We just want to keep Jack alive until the end of the stage.
All right, well, Catter just died. That is my one allowed death for the big bridge very early on, which I don't like to see. Because while this level's easier than Frozen Clouds, things can still happen on it.
If you want to use Jack to kill the leader on the bridge itself, you do get an extra summon that way.
Which leader?
So you know how you would summon twice on the bridge? Theoretically, you could use Jack. Yeah. But I mean, if you still have yours, then might be better to just play normally. All right, there we go. Was not having any luck hitting that mech for some reason, but
Oh, Shiva targeting.
And for some reason, you can't go through this gate until it's all the way open, even though there's a huge space for you to get through. All right. So now we finally reached the heavy artillery depot. It's full of mechs for us to destroy.
That's what that means. Shiva.
Yeah, that means one more use of Shiva. As the mechs rise up on these little elevator platforms. I love these platforms because they come up completely empty. It's like, oh, there's absolutely nothing on this platform. And then surprise, there's a giant mech behind the door.
If you pay attention in the early cutscenes, son, you'll see two mechs that look very remnant of the FF6 suits, or whatever you want to call them. There are a lot of FF6 references.
That was scary.
Type-0.
We're not going to talk about that. Never happened. No one saw anything. Alright, so I am deploying my one unit to the back lines. Cease has got this, and by that I mean Shiva has got this.
Oh, whoop. Forgot it was that screen. Oh well. So yeah, now we're down to Katter. And Katter has a pretty tough job ahead of her. She's gonna have to survive a one-on-one with everyone's favorite resident of the Big Bridge, Gilgamesh himself. Again, this fight's pretty difficult, and she's dead. Gilgamesh is actually very beatable, and we will be fighting him again later in the run, where we're going to use a pretty cool strat to fight him. But for whatever reason, if you run out of party members in the Gilgamesh fight, he gets bored and leaves, which admittedly is very thematic for Gilgamesh, but a little anticlimactic for this late into the game.
I got a little bit out of the rhythm there, but that's okay. If you kill all these 4 guys at once, they respawn at the same time. It's a pretty quick moment. If you get out of it, they can start running around and scattering, and it can get a little sloppy.
Yeah, it gets annoying if one of them likes to dodge, and then you just kind of have to deal with it. Whoop. Nope, you're not the person I want to talk to yet. Forgot that there was one last sortie that we're just not going to do, because, man, we don't care.
Gotta go fast.
RTS games? Nah, this is an RPG. It is a little weird that we're allowed to just skip that sortie, considering its story importance. That's us conquering the Blue Dragon's capital, and forcing their surrender in the war. But, yeah, we're not going to see any of that. Not important.
Ooh, strength serum, good stuff. I feel like I don't have enough people. Like, I don't feel confident right now. We'll see when I deploy this next set of people.
Accidentally talked to the bald guy early. Couldn't remember if it was before or after we accepted this mission, but we gotta talk to him before the Moogle will actually let us go out on our final normal mission.
Rem just inserted herself into my party. You can't just do that, Rem.
And story-wise, with the mission that Coin was on, that Scent just beat, one of the seas, Alexander, but at the cost of half of students. So, entire of all the classes are dead now, including our commander, Kurosame.
Yeah, so it's not just for our party. If anyone wants to summon an Eidolon, they have to give up their life. And the stronger the Eidolon, the more lives you need to summon it. So to summon Alexander, we had to basically sacrifice half of the nation. Again, this game earns its rating.
Yeah.
You know what, Fel? Maybe I did. That's probably what happened, because Cease was in a weird spot. I probably deployed Rem to the big bridge just without even thinking about it.
Alright, so here's our final dramatic battle against General Kator Bashtar, who's kind of been our rival throughout the story a little bit.
Even though we haven't seen him since mission 2.
Yeah, I can't. No. Oh, no.
Oh.
I have one person left. I don't think I can win. Is this an auto Shiva screen? I think it is. The one where you have to wait? Oh, no.
I do not know offhand. All I know
I'm
is
gonna
that...
find out. That's my only option, because I cannot finish the level with one person left. All right, Rem, die for me. Actually, I'm gonna wait for Shiva to run out, because otherwise, who knows what would happen.
The Kator fight can be over in 20 seconds if he immediately charges at you, or you can have a 55-second fight if he decides he just wants to stay as far away as possible at all times. It's usually not worth chasing him down because most of his moves run away.
I didn't save before this mission. Please, no. Don't do this to me. Give me an auto Shiva game, please.
I'm so sorry, Koinu.
Please.
The big bridge, it hurt us telling it that it wasn't good.
I hate my life. Well, I'm sorry, Team Mog. I fucking blew it. And yes, I swore. I'm so far back. I'm all the way back in the frozen clouds. I don't even know where I am.
It's all right, Koinu. Deep breath. It happens. Like we said earlier, Type-0 is Type-0 is a brutal game, and sometimes it wants to beat you down. You gotta
I have
roll
to do the
punches.
frickin' fight with Bahamut again. That's so long. God damn it.
It'll be all right. Meanwhile, I have to run all the way back. We don't have an airship anymore. It kind of got exploded, but that's fine. We have 20 chocobos. We can just walk home. Nothing terrible could happen. It won't probably start raining blood and monsters won't erupt from the ocean or anything. None of that.
Always wants to elaborate.
You could also take a detour and get the airship, but
yeah, there's all kinds of like areas on the world map you can explore. All of the towns that you visit throughout the game and a bunch that you don't are available with side quests and shops. And the world is really vibrant and alive. We just don't see any of it in the speedrun. There's like a special cave full of super monsters you can go fight.
Tower.
Oh yeah, plenty of stuff to do. I know a couple of people have, joked about routing like an all side quests version of this run. I can't imagine how long it would be. It would probably be, Order of Ambrosia length, frankly. But it'd be cool. I think it would actually require multiple playthroughs guaranteed, now that I think about it.
Yes.
Because I think there are some side quests that are just not doable your first time through.
There's also second half of missions for a bunch of the areas, like mission 3 has a different route you can take.
Oh yeah, where you go into the building and like destroy the generator.
Yeah, you fight from behind. So there's, it's very interesting. It's nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a super fun game. So yeah, it's raining blood and horrific monsters have popped out of the ocean and the world is ending and it's probably our fault. Like 80% our fault.
There's also these unkillable monsters, or I forget what they call them.
The Rosans.
You can't kill them. They just revive themselves.
Yeah, the only way to kill them is to harvest their Phantoma. So Class 0 is the only group of people who can kill them, period, and you can't kill that one in the cutscene because it's just a cutscene. It's a cutscene you can control, but it's a cutscene. So basically, a majority of the leadership is missing or possibly dead. and everyone's panicking, and the world's being invaded by deadly monsters. So we're all going to have to come together and figure out what to do. And what to do is we're going to ride a giant dragon into the sky and punch God in the face, I think, is kind of where we're going with this. The story gets very abstract at this point. But first we have to go around and talk to pretty much everyone who's left and just tell them, hey, we're alive. We're real people. We probably didn't cause the end of the world. Probably. So we're moving on to the final stage of the run, and the final stage of the run is kind of interesting because you're not allowed Eidolons or pretty much anything other than triad attacks, which are a special attack you perform with all 3 of your active characters. And this is a very long stage, actually. I think the walk home and all of these cutscenes in the last stage combined comprise about 30 minutes of the run, I want to say. It's a pretty significant portion. There's the game just telling you, hey, if you go to Pandemonium, your game's going to basically be over. You fight the final boss and that's it, so good luck.
And this, again, it scales to your lowest level party member?
Yes.
And that's why we haven't been using Deuce at all. Because with Deuce not getting any experience, he only ends up being, what, like...
level 2 or 3, depending on how things play out. So yeah, Sid has, by the way, Sid's in this game. He exists. He's the leader of the White Tiger faction. He's claimed the seat of the sea for himself and has become the arbiter of humanity. And he will pass judgment on us all unless we complete his trials. So for the first time ever, we're going to split the party.
He makes you take 2 different paths here, each with different sort of criteria you need to meet, I want to say.
Right, he's basically
advancing to the
he's basically trying to judge if humanity is worthy of existing at this point. So the secret orders that we were doing before as optional are now mandatory, and they're called Sid's Crucible. And we're gonna have to do them, as that Urson just had the best dodge I've ever seen. Dodged my triad attack. But our first task is just to defeat one of the Ursons by absorbing its Phantoma. Not a terribly difficult opening task.
As you see, it's only level 2.
Yeah. Our second task is just going to be to survive for 2 minutes, so absolutely nothing interesting happens on this path either. It's worth mentioning how we split the party. So Kater and 8 are the leaders of each split every time we split the party, because they're our 2 fastest characters, and we always want to put our fastest characters as the party leader so we can get from each trial to the next trial as fast as reasonably possible. We took Jack and Sync with us for this trial for no particular reason. They're just the next 2 people after Kater in our lineup. Kater can entirely solo everything we need to do here in this area. On the other side of things, we took Trey and Ace because they're both ranged party members, and the idea is that when we need to kill that first Verson, what we want to do is we want to have a triad attack, just shoot him while he's over the water, and that'll take him out in one fell swoop, assuming the Verson doesn't just phase through our attacks and not care like that one happened to do. So fun fact about the Versons, they don't actually do damage. When they hit you, they apply kill sight. So the next hit you take will instantly kill you, but it fades after a few seconds. So strangely enough, despite being really creepy looking and important in the story, they're one of the least threatening enemy types in the entire game, and one of the least likely enemy types to actually kill our AI party members.
Especially with them being such a low level at this point.
Yeah, I could be killing them right now to get experience in the party, but we don't really need it. And they just infinitely respawn as long as that timer is up on the upper left of my screen. So I'm just running in circles because it's fun. Looks like my party members actually managed to take out all 3 of them anyway. So I might as well harvest them. And you can see they just immediately spawn 3 more. Something we also haven't really spoken about that's very evident in this stage is that Type-0 has some amazing music. Absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. I mean, it's a Final Fantasy game, so of course it does, but still, it's top notch.
Bump a chicken song for the opening sequence.
And
that's
the ending.
A beautiful song. Yeah, that's such a beautiful song.
It's a very, very good song. And of course, as is Final Fantasy tradition, you know, when you PB, you have to sing along with the ending theme. So the trial in this room is to get through it without being hit. Sometimes this room is very wonky, and it doesn't count you getting across it as getting across it for whatever reason. And you have to do it twice. Usually running back a little bit there fixes it, but sometimes it doesn't. It's not a huge deal anyway. 8's fast enough to just get across the room before any of the traps or lasers have a chance to hurt you anyway. So now we're back to the other group, and their trial in this area is to light the 6 candles that line the outside of the room, and then to destroy the Rursun Invader. It's a little tricky, mostly because, again, the targeting system in this game is tied to the camera, so it does not like to cooperate ever. Like right now, what am I targeting? There we go.
It's not the best targeting system in a Final Fantasy game by far.
For everything the game gets right, the targeting system is something it gets very wrong. But again, it's a PSP port. There's only so much they can do, you know? Didn't get it. So if you hit this Iron Giant in just the right way, he'll give you a kill sight before he does this invulnerable phase, and you'll save about 40 seconds of him just stomping the ground. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah, it does invincible here, as you're saying. And you just have to wait.
Yep. I like to spend the time by shooting grenades with Catter, because it's, you know, just something to do. Alright, so here's the hardest part of the run. Under no circumstances should you become a Lucy. That locks you into the bad ending, and the run is irrevocably broken. Like, it's done. If you accidentally select that, GG. So what we need to do is just wait and say, we're good. We want to remain mortal and fight against these trials under our own power. Alright, so next up is a maze, where we have to kill a certain number of enemies to press. This is the other thing I keep my notes up for, because this maze is pretty mean if you get it wrong, but I know that it is north, east, west, east, north, south. There are actually several paths you can take here that will all get you to the finish with enough kills, but this is the one that we found that requires the fewest enemies defeated. I should be one-shotting these Tonberries, actually. Strange. Maybe Jack is slightly underleveled.
The Tonberries can be very scary at higher levels.
Yeah, but thankfully, these are just level 2 Tonberries. Yeah, there we go. Probably just didn't get the Ninja Slice bonus. I did east, west, east, right? This is my north, south. Hopefully I'm not lost in the maze. Okay, yeah, this is my north, south. We're good. This should be the final room. Yep. Strategy here is a pretty simple. Just hit him with Jack once, and then you can use Jack's Lightning Flash ability to hit them 3 times, which will trigger their kill site and move on. So for the second, I want to bring Catter, Jack, and Ace, and then I want to bring 8, Queen, and 6. Oh, whoops. God, I was still on Jack. Gotta switch to Catter to move. So the second set of trials just makes everything even more annoying. This first one in particular is pretty bad. You have to clear this room without using physical attacks. This room full of flying enemies. And it is far too easy to accidentally use a physical attack here.
You get pretty used to using physical attack.
Yeah, I mean, they become,
yeah.
you know, such a part of your repertoire. I'm actually just going to Mega Potion there to be very safe. Because the enemies in the next room do damage, and they can hit you pretty early on, so I don't want Catter to just accidentally die when we swap back over here. Meanwhile, right side party has a pretty weird gauntlet they need to go through. They need to solve a puzzle. And the puzzle is don't step on the floor tiles that kill you. Or actually do, because one goal as we go through this area is we kind of want all of our party members to die by the end of the stage. Eight's gonna need some MP for this next room, so I'll just pop one of those right now. Alright, so this room is the inverse of the last room. The last room was clear it without ever using your physical attacks. This room is clear it without ever using your magical attacks. Which is significantly both easier and harder. A lot easier to avoid accidentally using a magic spell. But at the same time, there are a lot of these enemies that are incredibly annoying without magic, like these bombs. They will blow up on you. You don't want that. They will also just dodge your shots all day, which... kind of equally bad, frankly.
With them being invisible, you don't get break sites or kill sites either.
Didn't get through in time. Ideally, you want to be able to get this in like one cycle or so. You want to kill the 2 bombs as fast as possible and then move your way into the middle. And then by the time you get those, this will be lined up for you to get through the room. But that wasn't too bad. I had to wait a little bit for the platforms to line up at the end. So now back with the other party. They need to solve Sid's devious puzzle. And oh boy, is it a tricky one. So... there are 4 pillars and this bright orb thing, and you have to determine the flame's position. What is the flame's position, you ask? Well, it is, yeah, it's right here. Oh. Well, that's annoying. Ran out of MP before I could, get that cast off. So, now we just have some time while the room rotates. it would be great if this Reaver actually wanted to hit me. No, don't hit 8. Please hit me. Alright. Well, the Reavers didn't want to kill any of my party members, which is unfortunate. If you're lucky, you can get 2 or 3 characters killed off right there while you're just waiting. So now the last thing standing between us and reuniting with our party is this behemoth, who 8 is going to viciously punch. Punch him, 8. Normally, there's kind of a trade-off there. You can get kill sites and break sites on the Rus and Arbiters to power up your Triad attack there, if that's what you want to go for. Or you can try and get party members killed off. Unfortunately, I went for the latter, and it just didn't happen. So, oh well. So now we kill sight this Reaver, and surprise, it has a second form. And then we kill the second form. And it didn't matter. Just gonna give Catter some much needed MP here.
This next section is I find pretty interesting. What you're tasked with doing, you're actually traveling through each of the 4 nations, doing stuff in each of them, or killing enemies, whatever that you're doing.
Yeah, this is Sid's magical guilt trip carousel. He basically forces you to go back through the 4 nations and see all the people you couldn't save because you were too weak.
Finally, a 23-second Cator fight.
Congrats.
Finally.
That fight is both the easiest fight in the run and actually impossible.
And to our right here, in just a moment, we'll see the giant gash in the ground that was perpetrated by us, the absolute good guys.
Yeah, we're the heroes in this game. I shouldn't have to keep reminding everyone of that, but we are the good guys, I think. So we should have just enough. Yep. We want to wait until these cadets start rising.
But look at this really cool overworld map that we pretty much don't step on after the first few missions. Look at all this space.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of it, do we? Alright, so now that we've done Blue Dragon and Red Phoenix, we can move on to the White Tiger section. So for the first part of the White Tiger section, we have to defeat these Reavers, but now they're invisible. Spooky Ghost Reavers.
Ooh.
Am I actually going to get the one Chocobo dream? I think I am. I've been getting so many 2 Chocobo meme rides lately.
I had a 2 or 3 this run, so I feel you. Huh. I did not have enough to do a triad attack there, which eliminates one of the guys immediately. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but fine. I just have to get close and shoot. And hope he holds still long enough to take damage. So this is basically a refight with the Kator boss we had earlier. He can go very well or very poorly. Ideally, you want to open with a triad attack to just cut down your losses immediately, but you take what you get. So we're going to do one final quick menu here before we head on to sort of the final area and final boss, and that's we're just going to... Oh. Game, come on. Thank you. We're going to solo assign Kator here, take the other party members out as we head into a rematch with Gilgamesh. So we have a very specific strat for Gilgamesh, and it involves these random cannon shots not just hitting you and messing everything up, which is something they really like to do. There we go. Oh man, I'm getting cannoned like crazy right now.
Yes, Gilgamesh, keep bullying.
Please don't bully Gilgamesh.
Yes, bully.
So, I mean, the basic idea is that when Gilgamesh runs at us, there's a certain part of his run cycle where he'll always have a break site. We can abuse that by charging a Blizzard or a bomb, and then immediately get hit by a cannon and knocked down and have to do another cycle. No, we can charge a Blizzard or bomb, which will hit him out of that, and then you have to wait a second before you hit him. But that's just enough time for us to deploy a grenade from Kator, and then everything becomes a break site on him, and we can just kind of blow him up. Unfortunately, there are these random cannon blasts that are flying into the arena, and man, they will mess you up. And man, they messed me up. So I still have like my entire party alive. Apparently nobody died anywhere in Trials.
Plus, Trials likes to randomly revive your party members, even if you manage to kill them off sometimes.
Yeah, I had 0 deaths this Trials, actually. So I'm going to have to take a while getting rid of all of my party members before the final boss fight.
And just to point out exactly how long Trials is, I am about to enter it as Sent is about to finish it. It's a good Trials run is about 20 minutes, or 18 minutes average, probably. Like
very, very high 18. Yeah, my PB was a very high 18 minutes. I think at like an 1856 or something. So here's the final trial Sid gives us, and it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's a room filling with blood.
Yeah, with people screaming that we failed to save them, and then when we get to the top, Sid is bored, and he's just like, you know what? You guys fail. I'm done with you. Moving on.
He's a cheater.
And right as you're about to get there, he's just like, and no.
I have lost interest.
So I mentioned earlier that all characters have 4 speeds. The 4th speed they have is how fast do they move in this wounded state. And this wounded state's pretty interesting because characters who are otherwise pretty slow are actually really good in this state. King in particular, I think is like the 2nd or 3rd fastest character in the wounded state, and I want to say he's one of the slowest in just about every other thing. But the fastest way to move at this point of the game is definitely rolling, otherwise to slowly step.
And what Sent just passed right there, something that's been happening in the background throughout this whole thing, is Makara has become a traitor, and Rem has become for the Vermilion Bird, and they're destined to fight each other.
Yep. They killed each other and fulfilled their purpose, so they turned into crystals.
It's also the cover art for Type-0 is the 2 of them in crystal form.
Is that the cover art? Huh. I realized I've never seen a physical copy of this game. But now we have to roll through this hallway while Sid taunts us about how we're absolutely worthless and unfit for the gift of life. As we head into the final boss fight, so I mean, hopefully the Final Fantasy 1 runners are on standby, and I'll let you guys know when it's ready. Now, this first phase of the final boss fight's a little hard, mostly because we can't deal any damage to him. Basically can't move, and are just going to die horribly in one shot every time he attacks. He has a couple of moves he can use. This is absolutely the worst because it's the slowest. Just like we can harvest the Phantoma of downed enemies, he can harvest our Phantoma. Yeah. Kind of horrific. The best thing is definitely that line attack. If you can line your characters up, he can take a few of them out at once with it. But failing that, you can, the third attack he can do is he makes like a storm of lightning blasts everywhere, and sometimes that can knock a few people out. Characters who have Thunder Shotgun are great here, because Sid has Reflect up, so we can make them shoot Thunder Shotgun into his Reflect. And that'll take care of that. One of the few nice things about this is that Sid's grab attack ignores invincibility. So even if you're invincible, that grab attack will kill the character, which is good. And I'm just trying to line everyone up so that multiple people get hit at once by the line attack. I don't know if that actually makes him do it more often. Kind of feels like it, but if lightning gets hit
and keep going.
Alright, so we obviously can't defeat Sid with the power that we have. But then Mother shows up, and lots of Deus Ex Machina happens. Specifically with Machina himself, who infuses us with his spirit. And now we are the all-powerful Class 7. So now we fight back against Sid by summoning each character once, and having them harvest a piece of his Phantoma. And time is when we harvest with the final character.
Yeah, and through
Lord,
and everything, you come to find out that this isn't the first time we've done this.
Cat, if you could just aim slightly up, that would be great. Thank you. There we go. Was a little too far away that first time to get the shot on him. So we want to use our ranged characters first for this fight, because for the first part of the fight he has Shell active, which means it's pretty difficult to hit him with magic. Kind of impossible. And he's just kind of floating up there, so it's hard for melee characters to hit him too. But after we hit him a few times, his shell dissipates, and now we can hit him with magic if we choose. We're still just going to focus with ranged attacks for the moment, though. Get King into the mix.
Targeting, please. All right, that's fine. Just don't work. That's... Sure. Targeting. Awesome. This is great. The candle room going awesome. Target. Thank you. Or don't. That's fine. Yeah, I'm taking so long the candles are going out. Good stuff.
So when we're down to 5 party members, Sid basically crumples to the floor. Now he's super weak, and we get to finish him off. All he can do now is very slowly try to do his storm attack. So the rest of this fight is super trivial.
Now, Fel, with 9, you can just do jump, and it goes right past everything.
Yeah, 9 is one of my favorite starters because, like in true Final Fantasy Dragoon fashion,
oh, I got the quick kill!
Just...
What?
Nice.
Did it just deny me the quick kill? I'm mad. I'm more mad than I already was.
Yeah, 9 in true Dragoon fashion has a jump ability, and his jump ability makes him invincible for a period of it. I'm gonna do it right now. There you go. I made 9 jump.
This game's great, guys. Very good video game.
It's got its problems, but I mean, I love it for what it is. Alright, so there's one last strat left in the run, and that's I'm going to be doing extra hits with Jack, because if I get an extra hit in on every single cycle, I can actually skip the final cycle and kill him one phase earlier. Which just saves a little bit of time. And again, timing will come up as soon as I harvest that last Phantoma, so about a minute from now, I'd say, at most.
Oh, come on.
Ah, didn't hit him soon enough. Might not be able to get it now.
Yeah, I believe it's one of his abilities that allows him to do the extra hits. That is.
Yeah, pressing back and attack with Jack makes him charge up the damage on his next hit. Which isn't terribly useful in a lot of places, but found a use right here at the very end of the run. And that's the last hit, so time is right about now. FF1, go! Please, make up our time.
You have plenty of time. You don't need to make any more up.
Anyway, yeah, that was Type-0. It wasn't the cleanest run. It wasn't the nicest run, but it's a really fun game. Like I said, it's on sale right now on Steam, as are a bunch of Final Fantasy games. If you guys thought it was interesting, make sure to check it out. Best of luck to the rest of Team Chocobo and to the rest of everyone in this race. Just so glad we could be here, and best of luck to Koinu. I hope the rest of Trials treats you fairly.
I'm out of MP.
So, hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We
That was a
are the
great round of
FF1 team.
Yep.
I'm Professor. I'm commentator number 1.
I'm Star. I'm commentating number 2, and let's get down to business with the commentary.
Oh God, you just no.
That's some indication of how this one's gonna go.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better. Yeah, Cruel is your runner for Team Choco. He's on your right now, and he's already got through the first menu. Basically, stuff that happens in FF1 happens very fast. Okay, so we're gonna need to kind of ramble off a load of psychobabble at you for the moment. Right, okay. First thing first, equipment glitch. Turns FF1 PSP into a cakewalk. Right, so we've already bought one hammer, which we've turned into some super powerful armor. Stud, you said you were going to explain this. Do you want to explain it?
Well,
I can do, yes. So how the equipment glitch works is basically each item has a certain value associated with it. So, for example, the hammer, let's say for simplicity, it has a value of 1. This then corresponds to the other slot, in this case armor, which also has the same value, which in this case is Knight's armor. So for simplicity's sake, let's say again, Knight's armor has a value of 1. So basically we trick the game into thinking that we have the Knight's armor by holding down the shoulder button and select at the same time. And I have no idea how that works, it just does. So the game thinks that we have the same item value in the other slot, and gives it to us for free.
When you said you were going to explain this, I thought you had like a bit more on your plate than it's magic, it happens, because that's all I can say.
I mean, I said mention the equipment values.
Yeah, that works. Anyway, you're about to see it in action. We are turning the leather cap we just picked up from the chest into the Judgment Staff. Incidentally, the Judgment Staff is the most powerful staff in the game. We have it 2 minutes into the run. That's about how this run's going to go, anyone who hasn't seen this before.
Yep. And the best thing about Judgment Staff, which you'll see shortly, is that it gives you the ability to cast Flare, which is the most powerful magic in the game.
Woo! By the way, guys on Type-0, I know you guys are in your final dungeon doing complicated things. Please feel free to talk over us if you've got stuff to explain.
Yes,
it's just me being bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right now, Coin is just going through, trying to make sure some of her members die. For that.
I mean, yes, those 4 deaths were absolutely planned. All according to what I need.
It's all RNG manipulation, right?
Yes.
Meanwhile,
just
on
say that
Cruel's,
you guys-
just nothing's happening.
You guys have some really cool final bosses going on here. Haven't really seen very much Type-0. They're very cool looking.
Oh, thank you. And unfortunately, they're very easy because most of them are either unlosable or the goal is to lose to them. So they're the
They're
most
kinda like
exciting
story
final bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot going on behind the scenes, but mechanically it's a lot of just hit him at the right times.
Please,
And hope it
why
works.
can't I hit him?
On the other
Dying is a
hand,
big motif.
our final boss is like the reason that we do everything in this game. If you see us picking up equipment or anything, in fact, our party composition is almost purely so that we can kill chaos at the end of the game. We've got ourselves a warrior who actually isn't our main tank or our main damage dealer or anything. He's mostly there because he can equip lots of the equipment we need to glitch the things that we're going to require. Then we've got a thief who is our main damage dealer because he does lots of hits because he's fast. We got a black mage for some like utility magic, like haste and teleport and stuff. And a white mage who is going to save our butts later in the game.
So the route that both of these runners are going to be doing is what we call traditional or old route. The reason why it's old route, even though it's not really that old, is that we do have a new route made fairly recently. I say fairly. It was about a couple of years ago. Lust Dagger route, which these runners will not be doing.
Yeah, they're not cool enough for the Lust Dagger.
No.
They like to stick with traditional stuff.
Yeah, which is fair enough. All three routes. Well, it's 3 routes. All
We're
3 of them are very
definitely
valid.
not going to roast them for that, for the whole
No, absolutely not.
I was afraid you were going to do this.
And the thing is, we like traditions. It's a tradition, very important.
Wrong game!
Very important.
Yep. Meanwhile, you're seeing Cruel trying to escape from some walls. In this game, random encounters are a bit of a nightmare and very important for your actual overall time, because you can waste a lot of time with encounters, an absurd amount.
Yeah, it's like if there wasn't random encounters in this game, it'd probably be done in what, 40 minutes maybe.
Yeah, probably. But like you could easily rack up like over 200 encounters in this game, and that's just like over an hour and a half. I mean, that's a lot.
Yep. So yeah, very very short run. We're only going to be here for 90 minutes, guys. That's why we're talking so fast. But lots of stuff happens.
Like crazy horses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
So Cruel is now heading on to the Pirates fight, which is a very difficult fight because we have absolutely nothing to kill them with, except
Oh
something
wait,
called Flare.
we picked up that thing that does the most powerful skill in the game. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be hopefully one of the only uses of Judgment Staff in the game. It casts Flare, and Flare has like a 7-second animation. That's not fast in a 1 hour 30-minute game.
Yeah. I mean, one of the main benefits of Lust Dagger route is that we use magic instead of flare, like other magic like fire and thunder, which have shorter animations. But these guys won't be
Yeah.
doing that.
These scrubs are going to use the really long animation instead.
Yeah. So now that we
we're
killed the
not.
pirates, we pick up the ship.
Not going to get the encounters we need in order to even have to use it. So just avoid it altogether.
How you doing, Koinu?
I'm getting horrible platform luck. This
Oh, no.
being bad. Yep.
I'm going to pretend I know what that means.
There are spinning platforms, and I just have to sit here and wait for them to spin
I
a
was
couple
gonna
extra
say-
times.
From what I can see, it genuinely means she doesn't have the right platforms to walk.
So we're getting very good encounter luck on the ocean. So sea encounters are very difficult to run from, especially at this stage in the game where we only have the knight's armor. So it's very lucky not to get one.
I'm having a great time. Everything's good. So Katter just died. She is the person that I am most comfortable with against Gilgamesh, so that'll be really swell.
It's alright, Koinu, you got this. You practiced king strats. You know how to do Jack. I believe in you.
Eh,
Would you say
that'll
that
make one of us.
Katter is a girl worth fighting for, by the way?
Katter is the worst girl. She can go away.
Oh, okay. I see.
Kib, I don't know if you intended that, but a girl worth
did.
fighting
I
for.
absolutely did.
I love you for that. Thank you so much.
I don't even know how to do like anything right now. I'm just lost.
Trust me, where this came from, there's much more.
Yeah.
That's why we have Kib.
And Star. Star's on it too.
So, something we haven't mentioned before is the tiles that these runners will be walking on. So each tile has a different encounter rate. Sea, marsh, and plain tiles have a slightly lower than the forest tiles. So these runners will be trying and walking on plain and marsh tiles as much as possible.
Yeah,
and
forest
avoiding
tiles,
forest like the
forest
plague.
not good.
Yes.
Also, different dungeons have different encounter rates. This one's a pretty low one. You'll probably get 2, maybe 3 encounters in the whole time you're in this dungeon. So,
Yep.
Cruel has run into his first one already.
Yep. And we see the first sign of paralysis, which can be an absolute pain later. So there is a thing in this game called Paralock, where basically your entire party can be paralyzed and there's nothing you can do except to watch as your HP gets destroyed.
And hope that your characters will randomly snap out of it because they don't want to annoy you.
Yes.
So believe it or not, this is a boss. We'll be one-shotting it because that's what we'll be doing for all of the bosses in this game.
Yep. And the first instance of a spiked tile, pretty much. So spiked tiles are tiles that we're guaranteed to get an encounter. So every time you step on that tile, you will get the same encounter. There are a few spiked tiles that we have to step on over the course of the run. Most of them are fleeable, but that one's
Usually
not.
the game likes to put spike tiles right in front of a chest that has something really nice in it, just to ensure that you have maximum annoyance value.
Yeah, the run is estimated to be about an hour and a half, roughly. But depending on RNG, it could go longer or shorter.
Yeah, I would be surprised if these guys, if runners of this caliber, were doing a run that was over 145, 150. So that's probably a maximum. And that's if the game's really trolly.
Yeah.
Alright, that doesn't one-shot. That's good. Wow, alright, that triad attack did nothing. Good to know.
0 for 2 on triad attacks. Let's see.
So now that Cruel has got the crown from the Pisca Demon chest, he now heads over to Western Keep to fight Astos. Because he's a bit of a troll. You give him the crown and he turns out to be evil. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? And of course, he goes down pretty easily. Mixture of attacks and judgment stuff, and he's dead.
Yeah, this is about the most kind of like actual fighting you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Astos has an instant death attack.
Yeah,
It's not
fortunately
too
he
bad.
was on Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior's
Thief
not
too bad.
We can cope with. If your casters get it, it's a bit more of an inconvenience because their level actually matters. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a few abilities, magic spells that we can only get once they get to a certain level. So we don't want them to lose any EXP, hopefully.
Yeah, Fighter, Thief, Black Mage, and White Mage as the party that we use.
This is bad. This is really bad. Yeah,
What's
so
going
not
on?
having Catter, I have no way to actually nuke these guys, and I'm just gonna not have a good time. Luckily, I do still have Trey alive. Alright, Trey's dead. Awesome. I don't even know. I'm king, maybe? No.
Ouch.
This is
Anyone you've got left with Thunder Shotgun. Just bring out anyone you've got with Thunder Shotgun right now.
They're none of the above. I can't. I can't hit them.
Meanwhile, Crew is just getting a ton of encounters on the way back to.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
about
Tom.
normal for FF1. It's partly because you have to go through the forests to get across here, and as we mentioned, plenty of forest encounters, and we haven't really got any equipment to help us run away yet. That
Yeah.
will be the main aim of the game for the first hour of the game, will be trying to get as much agility equipment as we can.
So, something we haven't actually mentioned is you may be wondering, if the armor that we get, Knight's armor, is so good, why do we only equip one? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. It slows you down and makes it a lot harder to run from encounters. So, even though it is a very powerful armor, there's no reason to get more than one.
However, when we start getting our agility accessories and stuff, even though we get certain things such as the Thieves' Armlet, we don't just put it on our arms, we put it on our heads, we put it on our bodies, we put it on our feet, we put it everywhere.
Yep.
So, yeah, expect us to glitch more than one of those.
All right, cool.
That's the-
Gun strats it is.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Deep,
Over here in
deep breath, Coin. You've got it.
I'm
You got this, Quan Yu.
so sorry, Team Mog. That's really all I have to say.
You're fine. Like we said,
You've got
this
this.
game's mean. You know, things happen. You've got this. You practiced this before the race. I believe in you.
On Crew's side, we've just done a little fetch quest. You know the crown that we gave to the evil guy earlier? He then gives us an eyeball, which we then give to a witch we find in a cave. She says bibbly bobbly boo, and then she gives us a jolt tonic. Now, what can we possibly do with that? We have to go wake someone up.
Yeah, so now we're heading to Elfheim Castle. We gave a prince a potion to wake him up. Because giving a prince a random drug is
Yep.
perfectly acceptable. Especially one that we find in a cave that's given to us by a witch.
He's a bit of a fixer-upper.
Yes, he is.
Don't you want to say that he's a sleeping beauty?
Okay, so now instead of leaving the where we came in, we go out a different way because it's faster. And then we immediately re-enter in order to get a mithril hammer through a chest, which will allow us to do the next equipment glitch, which is the Fiend's Arm.
Yeah, so this is a fairly simple equipment glitch. See if Crew can do it as quickly as we are used to him doing. As I say that, I've probably just cursed him.
Yes.
Anyone who doesn't know, Cruel is an extremely experienced FF1 runner. So, any bad things I say about him are cancelled out by years of running this game.
Now he's just heading into Elfheim Town to get gold needles, which are... Hopefully he won't need to use them, but we can get them because if we don't have any, then it could literally kill the run. Because you can get petrified in this game, and petrify is very bad. If your entire party gets petrified, you are dead. And petrify lasts after encounters, so it's a status you do not want.
I was about to say, we haven't switched to Indy's FFZ emotes yet. Indy's got a very appropriate emote of a cockatrice, which are the birds that can inflict petrify, but clearly we'll have to use them when Indy gets petrified by them in the old
Excuse me.
Now, Cruel is going to get the nitro powder, which will allow us to blow up a wall, well, blow up a canal, because that's totally a thing you can do, which will allow us access to the wider world. Because right now we're kind of in a little bubble, kind of trapped in this small little section.
It's a whole new world out there, guys.
Thank you.
Over here on Corey's side, making our way to the final encounter with Sid, which will, as we saw earlier, first we'll start with getting the power bestowed upon us, and then beating Sid down.
Yeah, as Barbados mentioned, while the FF1 team is going to a whole new world, over here we're going to a fantastic place to be, and that is right in front of Sid.
It doesn't look like a fantastic place to be, I'm not gonna lie.
No,
I
really
mean,
doesn't.
At first glance, the whole boiling lakes of blood thing is a
What is
little
that
off-putting. The arbiter of humanity / God / Sid. I mean, Sid has to make a cameo in every game. This is how we chose this game. You know, as this.
Incidentally, this is a little bit late, but you just saw Cruel, rather than running away from that sea encounter, he just got it with a judgment staff. The Sahagins that you find in the sea, even with agility equipment on, are a bit
Why?
so it's easier to just one-shot them and run away rather than waiting for it to let you run away.
Well, I just got to start with Deuce, which is great because she's impossible to hit with.
So the one thing we didn't mention about the final boss is, so after all of your party members are killed off, the game randomly chooses one of the 12 applicable party members to start this fight with. Some of them are a lot better than others because, again, Sid starts the fight with Shell on, so magic isn't really going to do very much. And he can be very hard to hit for melee characters. Deuce is unfortunately the worst character in the game by far. She is supposed to be the party bard and is meant to be buffing other characters. He has a very hard time hitting Sid this first
I had a
phase.
free chance to hit him and I blew it.
Her melee attack is very weird.
You got this, Coiny.
Yeah, you got this, don't worry.
Yeah, it's alright. He'll come down, cast a spell, and you'll be able to just stamp on his face.
I can't even do the up attack. This is terrible.
Meanwhile, Cruel is blowing up a canal.
That really just seems like a questionable course of action, I gotta say.
It is.
It
We've
really is,
previously
yeah.
discussed many times in commentary the effects of climate change that blowing up a canal and causing a tidal wave to fill in that canal would cause, but perhaps in contrast to the damage that chaos is doing to the world, it doesn't really matter. We're not sure. Either way, it lets us out.
Don't
Fair
forget
point.
about
That's the main
that supposedly flooding the entire cave we were in and killing all of us, but, you know, minor side
That
effects.
doesn't happen either. It's just
I
like,
don't know if Sarah's listening, but if you are, would you mind coming in and deafening me? Sent can call the final split.
so our next destination is Melmont, where we would normally be buying. Actually, Cruel didn't do the menu there.
Yeah, I'm doing it now instead.
We are going to be buying our next overpowered weapon, which is the Barbarian Sword, which in this route we are going to be glitching onto all of our characters. The Barbarian Sword is not just the most powerful sword in the game, but the most powerful sword in the game and in all its remakes, which is actually 3 times as powerful as the original version of the game. I think in the original version of the game, the Masamune was the most powerful sword, and yeah, this is 3 times more powerful. So, yeah, halfway into the game, and we can basically kill anything in one shot.
Claw just got ambushed by some ghouls and ghasts. Okay. Somewhat lucky there. This is an encounter that can power-lock you, because all of them can paralyze you. So he got quite lucky that Thief and White Mage managed to survive the power-lock. Again, ambushed by ghasts is really bad.
You can get some really good names here, like Paralysis U2. With your, we haven't actually mentioned the character names. You can customize all your character names in FF1. We will be switching some of the characters around, which is why Cruel's message doesn't quite make sense. But it will read "Love you too, Indy," which is a lovely
He's already
declaration.
Read that now.
Yeah, he's already switched them around.
He has?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Aldrich does it during Barbarian Sword menu.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Because Lust Dagger does it later.
I think Cruel was expecting Indy to be roasting him in his own character names. So we'll see what happens when Indy turns over.
I need food. Also,
I'm
stop.
don't have time.
Nah, we'll do it after the run. Oh god. Someone just scream at me as soon as we can start.
Okay. So Cruel is now accessing Cavern of Earth level 3, which is probably one of the worst places in the game because of this encounter, Pisco Demons. And we also see cockroaches as well. But Pisco Demons are unrunnable, so you have to kill them with Judgment Star.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dangerous, because you can almost... I think you can always get first hit on them.
Yeah.
But it's a pain. It takes some time, and time is not a thing that you want to lose in this run.
Yeah. But there are a lot of bad encounters in this spell. Like I said, cockroaches are a thing, which can paralyze you.
Or we could just get more Piscademons.
Or more Piscademons, yeah. Yeah, ghouls and ghasts can paralyze you. It's just a very, very bad place to be. And
However,
the worst
it
thing
does
is we have to go through multiple times.
It does mean our characters get a few more levels, so that means that our stats are going up, particularly our HP, which isn't important right now, might be kind of important in a while.
Yeah.
In fact, we've got some pretty decent HP rolls there on all our characters.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning, by the way, that HP going up every level is random. So you can end up with a Black Mage with about 60 HP at this point in the game, or they can have about 150, which makes a massive difference for bosses.
So now we have Vampire, which is a very tough boss.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
it's
would
really difficult.
absolutely not go down in one hit whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
No.
Oh, well, that was underwhelming.
I feel as if you guys might be lying to me.
No, us lying. We would never do such a thing.
Yeah, welcome to the power of the Judgment Sword, guys. Judgment Sword? That's definitely a combination of two different weapons.
Yeah.
Barbarian Sword. And now we've just got to make our way out the long way.
Yep.
There is actually an alternative route where you can play a mini game on the ship, and if you get lucky and you're good at the game, it will give you an emergency exit, which is an item that you can use to instantly exit dungeon, kind of like Pokemon Escape Room. But that requires actually doing the mini game and getting lucky on your rolls. So most runners don't bother. They just run out the hard way.
You're on the last 4 characters. Over here on Type-0. So time will be coming shortly.
That's great. We knew Quina could do it. Thanks for your energy, everyone. I'm sure she's feeling it.
So Crawler's finally escaped Cavern and immediately gets an encounter, because this is FF1.
How close would you say we are, guys?
Maybe 30 seconds.
Okay, great.
So get ready, Indy.
Okay.
We'll have to stay quiet for a little bit then. As Crawl just makes his way into Giant's cave and gives a star ruby to a giant. As you do.
So again, you can see kind of in this last phase that Coiny's trying to get extra hits in with Jack, so we can skip a full cycle. And it looks like that's time, so go, Indy, go.
Awesome.
Go Indy! Go, 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 go!
Good luck to all the FF1 guys. Thank you all so much for having Type-0 in the race. It was stuff happened, but